With threats cropping up from the present and the future, the League will need to come together like never before. If they ever hope to stop the encroaching threat of Darkseid, what'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Justice League Unlimited issue number 11 and find out together, shall we? Alrighty then, so this issue wastes absolutely no time getting started. Picking up directly from where we last left off, everything is going to hell all at once. Mr. Terrific is doing his own impromptu recreation of the Alien franchise as he gets chased through the Watchtower by a series of fresh new parademons who got birthed by one of the prisoner parademons in the last issue. Of course, no one can actually come and help Mr. Terrific right now because in the next room they're all busy doing a little bit of super surgery on Time Trapper Doomsday. Metamorpho is doing the actual cutting because if anyone else touches this guy, his defense mechanisms will activate, and you'll age yourself to death like in The Last Crusade. Oh, but the hits don't just stop coming because over in Markovia, Power Girl and her team ended up getting grabbed by a massive red hand and dragged deeper and deeper underground. At first, I jumped to the conclusion that this must be Trigun or some sort of demonic threat, but no, it's actually the Dark Legion, twisted versions of the Legion of superheroes from the far future, who have been corrupted into serving Darkseid and gathering him Omega energy so that he can be reborn. Well, okay, this story doesn't actually tell you that. Superman from this week told you that, and here's hoping you read both because they're very connected. For what it's worth, the fight itself is actually really damn cool. The Dark Legion pull out all sorts of dirty tricks, like trying to mess with the chemical composition of our heroes, even getting into their minds and projecting images of old Krypton. In the end, though, the Dark Legion isn't the real problem here, it's the massive gaping black hole under Markovia with such a powerful pull. Captain Atom tries to throw himself into it only to get pulled back at the last second, and honestly good, it feels like all Captain Atom does in these stories is sacrifice himself, am I right? Back at the Watchtower, the situation has gone from bad to worse. All this excess Omega energy coming off Time Trapper is ripping the station apart, meaning that if Metamorpho doesn't hurry, everyone is going to get pulled out into the deep, cold vacuum of space, even with Martian Manhunter, Blue Beetle, and the others working overtime to try and repair the station. And before you think to yourself, oh well, why don't they just boom tube out? They boom tube everywhere else, right? Well, they can't because these new mini parademons have already messed with the instruments, meaning that everyone is stuck here for the long haul unless they can all start solving their problems at once. Mr. Terrific thinks if he can sneak inside the Watchtower's weapons vault and arm himself, it'll give him an edge against the parademons. After all, they're just dumb, mindless creatures driven by instinct, right? Only, oops, turns out they're not, and this incredibly smart man ends up getting squirreled by parademons who I'm pretty sure shoot him with the key's key. Now that's a deep cut. Now that he knows what he's up against, though, Mr. Terrific decides to completely change his tactic. He calls on the Flash to try and funnel these parademons inside Time Trapper's own energy pulse. After all, if it's dangerous enough to destroy the station, then surely it should be strong enough to deal with these pests, which is exactly what happens. From there, Metamorpho is free to complete the medical procedure, which turns out to be a full success. Time Trapper Doomsday lives once again, which means the heroes can finally ask him what the hell is he doing here and why did he put everyone at risk. Well, he's come with a dark warning of a terrible future, of another Earth, of Darkseid's return, and he's setting up the new event. Though in reality, he doesn't even do that. Time Trapper's like, I could do these, but I know in about 4 seconds Superman and Booster Gold are gonna show back up from the Superman book, they'll tell ya. Which is exactly what happens, which means, you know what, next time Time Trapper Doomsday, maybe just like send an email or something and save everyone a lot of trouble. And so that was Justice League Unlimited issue number 11, everybody, and much like the previous issue, I thought this was a fun, well-written outing courtesy of Mark Waid that, despite everything, was still sort of at odds with itself. We basically get 3, maybe even 4 stories that don't exactly have a lot of room to breathe, and while Waid certainly goes out of his way to try and make sure they dovetail and play off each other, I couldn't help but shake the feeling that I would have much rather followed any of these stories just on their own. Mr. Terrific fighting aliens in a space station that's locked down, that's a good story. Power Girl joining forces with Geoforce to save Markovia at a time when the superhero community doesn't trust Geoforce, that's a good pitch for a story. Hell, even Martian Manhunter and his team trying to repair the Watchtower, that's good stuff too. I would have liked to have seen more of it, but instead we just kind of get bits and pieces of all of these different tales. The worst part is that the actual inciting incident involving Time Trapper Doomsday really ends up feeling like busy work by the time everything is said and done here. Like, he only showed up to stall for time as we get ready for DC KO, which which, don't get me wrong, I'm excited for DCKO. This book is billed as and sold as a big prelude to that event, but I don't feel like it actually did a lot of hard work setting the stage for that one, but you know what, that's just what I think. Overall, I would give this one a 7 out of 10. Even when Mark Waid's Justice League work isn't the best, it's still pretty good, but personally, I guess I was just kinda hoping for more. Hopefully this doesn't actually impact my enjoyment of DCKO and whatever ends up coming next.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.